skills, the same high caliber professionals in the talent market. So we all are struggling to make sure that we get the top talents. And why do we need these top talents? Basically, we need them to drive growth and progress and success for our businesses. So what is the talent war? Still trying to understand further. The talent war is not just about hiring. It's not just about filling vacancies. It's not just about getting people, increasing the number of your employees. Let's say you have targeted to have 10 employees. So the talent war, you just go out there into the market and get people to win the talent, to fill in the vacancies. No, the talent war basically is speaking to securing top talents, the best talents that fit into your organizational goals and objectives so that you're driving success and growth for your business. And the talent war is a phenomenon that is global. You can see that it is evolving because of our evolving times and trends and economies. We have automation, we have technology growing and evolving, and that is also speaking to why we are currently experiencing the talent war. What are the key issues in talent war? What are the factors that are driving this struggle for talent? What is causing all of these things? So these are the issues that we're going to be trying to understand in this session. For starters, looking at this slide and discussing the key issues, one of the key reasons is because of the imbalance between the high demand for supply for skills. So there is a high demand for skills, but there is a low supply of these talents. There's a low supply of these skilled professionals in the talent market. From what we are experiencing, I'm sure a lot of organizations are experiencing this kind of shortages in supply. There's a whole lot of vacancies, but we are not able to fill these vacancies. So one of the reasons causing it is the imbalance in the demand and the supply. Another key issue behind the talent war is that it is a local and global phenomenon. It is not just restricted to Nigeria or Africa. It is something that is also being experienced globally. So even outside of Africa entirely, we see companies reporting this kind of challenges as well. So these are the issues that we're going to be discussing in this session. So we're going to be looking at the global scale. What is the talent war in the global scale? There was a survey conducted in 2023 that shows or that reported that 77% of employers have reported a huge gap and shortage in supply of skills. So this is a report coming from the United States, going to show that this war that we are experiencing is a global one. It is one that is affecting all of us, all of us worldwide, both in the Western countries and right here in Africa as well. So let's break it down by sectors. Where exactly are we feeling the pinch? We can feel the pinch in technology, for example. In the tech space, also from the survey conducted in 2023, there has been reports of an expected shortfall of workers by 2025 in the tech space. And this we can understand is being driven by the rapid growth in technology, rapid advancement in technology. So by 2025, there has been expected shortfall of job by 85.2 million gap in terms of workforce. In the health sector also, the World Health Organization has predicted that by 2030, there's going to be a huge shortfall in manpower when it comes to healthcare sector. And that is also a huge source of concern. In engineering and skilled trades, also there's been, from survey that have been conducted, by 2030, there's going to be a huge shortfall in terms of manpower and talent. So what is driving all of this from all the surveys and all the research that we have conducted? What is driving all of these things? We can see that global organizations are expanding their reach. When it comes to recruitment, global organizations are looking outward of their environment. They're looking to other countries, they're looking to Asia, they're looking to Africa for these talents. And that is also driving the war here back home in Africa and Nigeria. We can see that the talent war, as it's happening over there, is impacting on us here, just as it is impacting on them over there from here. Now let's look at our local perspectives and look at Nigeria. in focus. From looking at Nigeria, we can see that despite also taking it by industry sectors, despite in the tech space, for example, despite the fact that Lagos is the Silicon Valley of Africa, we can see that there is a huge demand for talent in the tech space that is not being met, which means there's a gap somewhere. There's a huge demand, but the supply is very, very low. In the healthcare sector also, we have seen, or we are currently experiencing a huge migration of talents in the healthcare sector, moving out of the country, moving out of the continent, going to get better work opportunities in other climates. And in the survey that was conducted from 2015 to 2021, it showed that 9,000 Nigerian doctors have emigrated and left the country. And that is as of 2021. So from 2021 to date, we haven't gotten that figure yet, but I'm sure that that is also on the high side. On the skilled trade and engineering sector as well, 50% of Nigerian manufacturing organizations have reported a huge gap in being able to employ skilled workforce. So, I mean, all of this is speaking to the fact that there is really indeed a war on ground that we need to be strategically ready to win. Now, to wrap up this slide, we're going to be looking at what's in summary, what are local companies doing? You can see that local companies are beginning to look at upskilling current existing talents, and also partnering and collaborating with educational institutions so that you're getting these talents fresh from the institutions and getting them into your space and training them to actually meet the demands of the organization. So now that we have a brief understanding of what this talent war is, which basically, like I said earlier, is about competition for the best talents, where we have employers of different organizations striving to attract and hire and also retain the best talents in the industries. What can we say? How can we rationalize this phenomenon and say what is actually the cause of the talent war? What is driving the talent war? At this stage, I would like to hear from all of us. Like I said, it's a learning and sharing session. I would like to hear from all of us. Just what do we think is driving this talent war, so to speak? So if I can hear from anyone online. So you can either drop a comment in the chat box, or you can raise your hand and Daya would indicate for you to share with us your thoughts on why we are experiencing a talent war right here, right now in 2024.
So Rashida Bello is saying that less skilled candidates.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
Rashida Bello is saying less skilled candidates.
Okay.
What's driving the war? Less skilled candidates.
Okay.
Uchenna is also saying Japa syndrome. Uchenna, Japa syndrome. So keep it coming. Yeah. If you want to speak, you can unmute your mic and speak. All right, Vivian, we have the Japa syndrome.
Okay.
Less candidate.
And less skilled. Okay, so that's fantastic. So looking at the slide that speaks to causes of the talent war. So as mentioned by us, the Japa syndrome, of course, that is one thing we cannot run away from. And also less skilled talent. So yes, these are not exhaustive. And what we have on the slide here, we have 5 points that are not exhaustive, but they speak to why we are currently experiencing this gap in the talent markets. Why is there so much?
All right, Vivian, sorry. we have some, sorry for, we have more comments coming in. So Mohammed is saying poor compensation in some instances. TYTT is saying ridiculous offer from compensation. Also, is also saying generational shifts. Millennials and Gen Z workers prioritize factors like work-life balance, purpose-driven work, and opportunities for growth. forcing companies to adapt their value proposition. TYTT is also saying employers. So these are comments from the participants, from the
All right,
audience.
thank you so much, Dayo, and thank you so much to everyone who has contributed. Your comments are really spot on. As we look at the causes of talent war, they are indeed spot on, and the list is really exhaustive. It is inexhaustive, as a matter of fact, because as we continue to conduct more research and surveys, we get to find out more reasons why we are experiencing this talent gap in the industry, in the talent markets currently. So looking at what we have here, we have technological change. The world is changing rapidly. Like the industry, or where we are playing now, is different from what used to be 5 years ago. In fact, 2 years ago, as a matter of fact, because the technological advancement is happening at a very rapid state. So we have automation, we have artificial intelligence, we have so many things, robotics coming up, and people are trying to catch up with the times. People are trying to adapt to the change, because I mean, if you do not adapt, you would be lost in the background. So this is one of the reasons that is causing the talent war, because as we have all these technological advancements happening at the same time in a very rapid state, it also means that companies have to adapt to these changes, and the talents also have to now adapt, which means skills have to change. So if you have spent 4 years in university studying something, and then you graduate, and in 4 years, the times have changed, it means you have to upskill yourself. So this is what is causing that gap in one of the reasons of what's causing the talent war. Second reason we have here is demographic shift. Somebody mentioned it in the chat box. Thank you so much for that. It is real. What is happening now is there's a change in demography. From the people in the workforce now were not the people in the workforce a few years ago. So we have the millennials in the workforce, we have the Gen Zs in the workforce, and the approach to work is different. We have Gen Alphas coming up very quickly too. That was surprising, because now we're going to be having about 3-4 generations in the workplace very soon, which means there's going to be a whole lot of changes and adapting to be done to meet each generational needs. And that brings us to the next reason, which is a shift in workers' expectation. So as we have these different generations coming up, there's a shift in their expectations. A few years ago, or some years ago, people would be very comfortable to work in 10, 15 years and be very happy to win long service award. But now that has really changed. People really want to be flexible. People want to experience different things. So there's a shift in what employees are looking out for right now. Employees are looking out for work-life balance, flexibility in work. So this means that employers and talents also have to meet somewhere in the middle and adapt. The next reason is globalization, the Japa syndrome, like someone said. The world is a global village. People are emigrating or migrating from one place to the other. It would be surprising to know that people are also leaving the Western world to come into Africa, to come into Nigeria, to settle down as well. So it is really interesting, because thanks to technology, the world right now is a global village. People want to experience different cultures. People want to move around. People sometimes also want to be in Nigeria, but work in a different country. So this is what globalization is doing. And this is also impacting on one of the reasons of why we are currently experiencing a talent war in today's world. And lastly, but not the least, we have here skill mismatch. So this basically is speaking to the gap between the skills of what the professionals or workers, employees, or the talent have, compared to the skills that the companies actually demand. So this, like I said earlier, there's a shift. Technology is advancing at a very rapid level, which means you can spend a whole lot of time studying something, but then when you're in the talent market, times have changed. You need to also upskill yourself. So continuous learning is very essential for all of us as professionals, and for organizations, it is also essential to continue to upskill your employees. So we'll go to the next slide that's speaking to the talent perspective. What are skilled professionals asking for? Like we said in the last slide, times have changed, demography has changed, so expectations definitely have changed. What are professionals looking out for? Now professionals are looking out for an increased bargaining power, which means that skilled professionals want to be able to negotiate not just salaries, but working environments. They want to be able to negotiate, I want to work here, or I don't want to work here. So they are actively, when people are looking for jobs, they are also being intentional to say, I want to work in a place that affords me this or that. So employees or professionals now have an increased bargaining power. Second point is work-life balance, which we can see here that 70% of professionals are looking out for work-life balance over salary. That's very interesting to note because people want to have time for work and time for family clearly outlined. Next point, we have career progression, career growth. People want to grow in their jobs. Nobody wants to be stuck in a particular role or a particular position for a very long time. They want to feel impactful to the organization and feel like they are giving their best. So for you to feel as a human being that you're actually giving your best to your organization, if you feel a personal sense of growth as well, that would also be impactful on you and the organization. So these are some of the things that employees are looking out for. Company culture is very essential. Nobody wants to work in a toxic environment, basically. And professionals are intentionally looking out for. When we conduct interviews and we ask employees or candidates to this is your chance to ask a question. They are specific to ask, what kind of culture do you have in your organization? What kind of values do you drive? So these are the kind of questions employees are asking now. It's not just a case of how much are you going to pay me? They want more. So this is speaking to the shift in expectations from the workers, from the talent market right now. And then, of course, global opportunities. Like I said earlier, people want to be flexible. People want to experience diversity in the workplace and sustainability. These are the new things coming up now in the market, in the talent market trend. And now we have some data-driven insights from research that we have conducted over time. We can see that remote work is getting really, really popular. As much as some employers may not like this, it is really getting popular. We have 60% of workers saying that they prefer a job that gives them flexibility. So whether it's a remote job or a hybrid job or any kind of flexibility at all, people are looking out for this intentionally. Second is compensation. It is very essential for you to have a robust compensation strategy to be sure that your compensation is well planned to attract the kind of talents that you're looking out for. And then, of course, we have the culture. It is essential that your culture is positive and is speaking positively to the employer, to the employees, and positively to your brand as well. Excuse me. So now we'll be looking at some strategies to win the talent war. Sorry. So we have understanding what the talent war is. We have talked about what are the reasons driving this talent war. We've tried to understand why employees are changing in their perception and their approach to things. So now let's speak to us organization and talk about strategies that we can use to win the talent war. So we have 4 that we have outlined here, but of course it is more than this, but we'll be looking at this for now. Competitive salaries, like I have mentioned earlier, your compensation package must be very, excuse me, please. Your compensation package must be very strategic. So at this point, you can organize surveys, you can run some industry benchmarking to ensure that you are playing in a good space in your industry. You are paying industry standard or salary so that people are not bypassing your organization to go for other organizations. Secondly, we can look at employer branding. This is basically speaking to your employee value proposition. What are the things that what are the values, what are the benefits that a person is going to get from working in your organization? You need to ensure that you have a very well detailed and strategic employee value proposition. And once that question is posed at you, you have the right answer to give. And then some other ways we can boost our employer branding is by making sure that we are telling the right stories about our organization. We can leverage social media, we can leverage your corporate website and show positive culture, show how your organization treats your employees, about well-being, about work flexibility, and all of that. So this is These are the things we need to do to make sure that our company has the right brand perception in the public. The next point is career and career development programs. So like I mentioned earlier, people want to grow. Nobody wants to be stuck in one position for a long time. So for every employee that comes into your organization, you need to make sure that there is a career plan for that employee. You need to make sure that the employee understands in 2 years, based on your performance, you're going to grow to be this. And then give the employees room, to explore and to grow. These are the things you need to put in place to, and then these are communicated to employees, maybe at the point of recruitment or some other, whenever you're working on your employer branding, so that people understand that this company is a company for me because it will give me the opportunity to grow. And then we have the compelling benefit package. So we've talked about salaries. Now we're talking about benefits. What are the benefits an employee would enjoy working with your organization? Are there free lunches? Is there a staff boss? Is there a welfare package? I heard of an organization that had a welfare package for spouses of people that work in the organization. So if I, for example, know that my husband will be paid a certain amount of money just because he's working there, I would encourage him to, please, can you drop your CV here so you can get a job? So these are the packages and perks that we can put in place to encourage or to help us to attract the right talents. So now we'll be moving into approach to retention. At our last session in July, we spoke about retention strategies. And so here we're going to be highlighting a few of them, because winning the talent war is not just about attracting and hiring, it's also about retaining, because the war is still ongoing. If you have won one part of the war by hiring the right talent, you don't want to lose again by losing that talent. So you need to retain the talent. You need to make sure that you're doing all you can as an organization to keep these talents engaged and productive in your business. So one of the ways is culture of inclusion and innovation, encouraging the employee to understand that they are a part of something big. They are a part of the business. Everything they do is impacting the business. When they have this understanding, they feel like they have a goal, or they feel like they have a role to play in the overall mission and vision of the organization. The next is continuous learning and development. It is essential that you continue to upskill and train your employees so that as they grow in their career, they are also growing your business and developing, the business as well. Next point is employee well-being. Like I've mentioned earlier several times in this session, employee well-being is very essential, and sometimes it comes topmost priority for some people over salaries. People want to make sure to be taken care of. The mental health is very essential right now. So your employee well-being should be put in top priority. And of course, we have internal mobility. People should be able to grow internally. If we are continuously upskilling and training our employees, when there is a gap in a different role, for example, an employee should be able to grow and fit in that role instead of looking outwards. So you're also reducing your approach to always going outward when you're developing the talents that you have internally. So now we're going to take a poll on where do you think you are on the battlefield. So Dayo, please, I'd like you to take over here.
All right, I'm doing that. All right, the poll has been launched. Trusting you can all see it. So keep your response coming in. Okay, good. Yeah. So 7 people has answered, 8, 9, 12 people has answered, 13 people, 14. Let's keep it coming. 15. Okay. 19. Okay, 20. So we have like 30 more seconds and then we round up the poll. Okay. We have 21 and we're 42 online.
Okay.
We're 42 years, so keep it coming. All right. Okay. All right, I think that'll be all. I'll be ending the poll now. Thank you, 23. So Vivian, I'm sharing the results right now. So the poll has ended. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay, Daya, can you read that, please? Can you just give us an overview of the results from the poll? Hello, Daya.
Can you hear me?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Hello, yeah. So I was saying the talent strategies, we have 12% for poor 12%, fair 60%, good 16%, and excellent 12%. So we have fair
As the topmost.
having the most percentage here, 60%.
Okay. All right. I think that's fair enough. That means that we are implementing a few strategies already to, attract the top talents. So moving forward after this session, I want to believe that we would have gained more insights on how we can better attract and retain talents in our organization. So just to move on to the slides so we can continue. Sorry, 1 minute. Okay, thank you so much everyone for your participation on the poll. So now that we have understood what the talent war is, we have understood what is driving the talent war, we have also looked at some strategies on how we can win this talent war, attract and hire the best talents out there for our organizations. We have also looked at how we can retain the good hands that we have. So let us understand what can we do to prepare ourselves for the future. What can we do to get ourselves ready for the demands and supply that will be coming up in the nearest future? So here we'll be looking at future talent demands. Like we said earlier, technology is advancing at a very rapid state. And as it advances, organizations would have to adapt. I know here in Nigeria, we feel like AI might take a while to come here, but I assure you it is gradually creeping into our society. So we need to be ready for this. This means we need to be looking out for jobs in the technological space, cybersecurity, data science, all of that is already cropping up, which means we have to be prepared to attract these talents. We need to be prepared on the right skills and strategies that we need to put in place to attract these talents. We also have healthcare. We understand what is happening in the healthcare sector, so we need to be prepared. We have green jobs, talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion, climate change, sustainability. We need to be ready for this kind of demands coming up really soon. Automation, I mentioned already technology, so automation, artificial intelligence, diversity, equity, and inclusion. So these are future demands that will be coming up really soon, and we need to be prepared for it. So in conclusion, we have come to the end of this very critical topic that we are discussing today. And in conclusion, I just want to leave you with 3 key words: attract, retain, and thrive. We need to be, as organizations, be ready to attract good talents, top talents. We need to be prepared to retain them. So we need to put strategies in place to train them. And we need to enable these employees and these talents to thrive, because when they are thriving, your business is thriving as well. And in all of this, I assure you that you will be winning the talent war. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for your time today. Thank you for joining our session today, and we will be taking questions at this time. So Daya, please, if you have anyone.
All right, thank you, for that session. So it's time for question and answer. So if you have your questions, you can just keep them coming so we can address them. Thank you. Question time. So if you have a question, you can use the chat box and give us your question, or you can speak. Ose, do you want to speak?
Yes, I have a question.
All right, yes.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Um, okay, thank you very much for that wonderful teaching. I must confess, it was really inspiring. So I want to ask, if you happen to be in a very serious, you have to be a HR in a very competitive market, that you know fully well that your competitors have the financial muscles, and following the economic situation right now, you know fully well that everybody is going to where there's greener pastures, whether good talent or bad talent, everybody needs greener pastures right now to be able to survive the harsh economy. So can you just tell me, I've gone through your how you can be able to win the talent war, but I still want to know, are there any other key strategies that your organization can use in retaining top talent, aside from compensation and benefits and work-life balance? I hope you got my question, madam.
Yes, yes, I did. Thank you so much for that question. Sorry, I didn't get your name, but thank you so much for the question. At our session in July, we actually talked about retention strategies, and we talked about different approach. We talked about the traditional approach, and we talked about evolving approaches that people are putting in place. So the traditional approach we speak about is the compensation and benefits packages that we give to talent, right? We give them we increase salaries, we give them more benefits, increase their benefits, but this can only hold on a talent for just, a period of time. Really, you can't really use that to hold talents. So we talked about evolving strategies that we can put in place, and this is what is speaking to the shift in the workers' expectation. People want to be flexible. People want to be able to work from anywhere in the world. People want to be able to move around. So we talked about creating a good alumni, for example, creating an alumni for your organization. If people want to leave, of course, people they'll have the zeal to want to explore other cultures, travel. So that's fine. You can encourage them to leave, but creating an alumni would also make them understand that they are welcome back home at any point in time. So if at any point in time they have gone to other climates, they have worked, they have also upskilled themselves, we are open to welcome you back into our organization. So we keep that channel of communication open with our employees, even as they exit. Secondly is when you have the talents on ground, as much as possible, you exchange value. So you're giving the employee value as much as you're getting value for this employee. And as you're doing that, you're motivating the employee, and the employee is also putting things in ground for your organization. So systems and processes are being put in place, which is encouraging the employer brand, for example. When you put systems and processes in place with these top talents on ground, you're making it ready for people who are going to join to have a seamless integration into your system, because you have set in the right processes, you have set in the right systems. So making sure that you're getting value for value while you have these talents on ground, and then keeping an open ground. There's even option of flexibility. Someone can travel. I know a lot of people who have traveled but are still working in their organizations here in Nigeria. So having that kind of flexible and open mindset to say that, yes, you can travel, but we still want you. So we can work out an arrangement where you're working for us here in Nigeria, even though you're in the UK, even though you're in Canada. A lot of that is happening with organizations right now. So having evolving strategies to managing and retaining your talents, not necessarily having them eyeball to eyeball or increasing salaries, but using different approaches and strategies to retain employees is what we are also looking at. So there is a traditional approach and there are the evolving approach as well. I hope that has been able to answer your question.
Okay, thank you very much. That was very, very enlightening. It has been able to arrest some thoughts I was having in my mind towards that. But there's one more question I want to ask before I drop the mic. I want to cite a direct scenario in this manner, like what I'm currently facing right now. Now I have some skilled employees who are who has an entitlement mentality. Now, that's a very big challenge, because there's a competitor who have seen that weakness and is trying to take advantage of it with financial muscle. Now, these are employees that probably have been able to impute strategies and some benefits and compensation, medical, everything that they know that the company could do according to our strength has been done, and there is still this threat. And these are our top talents. So I did a research on my competitor. They don't follow the best practices the way we do in terms of employees' benefits. They just have the financial strength. Probably, okay, you're earning 50,000. Let me use an example. I tell you, okay, come to my organization. I'm going to pay you 250,000. That's over 150% of what you're earning here. But in that 50,000 I'm paying you, you have your work-life balance, have remote work policy, you have you have leave allowance, you have your HMO, you have every work tool, everything is following the best practices. And in this organization, they are giving you 150% of what you're earning, but all those benefits are not intact. And the entitlement mentality employee is telling you, look, what are you going to do? Otherwise, I'm going to get out. This is a very serious war. How do I win?
Okay. So if I heard you correctly, this employee has an entitlement mentality because he feels is indispensable, and then your competitor has financial muscle and is trying to poach this employee. Excuse me.
Yes.
So from where I sit, what I can say is first of all, maybe now that you are in this critical position, you may need to find a way to meet. So this is just off the top of my head. Find a way to meet this employee halfway, right? But I guarantee you that increasing his compensation and package is not going to keep him around, maybe for the next 6 months until a new offer comes up. So that is not the best approach, right? What you should do is make sure that you have a robust succession plan, right? You need to identify these roles or this, the spots in your organization that are very critical. And you need to make sure that you have, as much as you have people there, there are people who you are preparing to move there, right? So even if it's people on ground that you're training to move there, or a program that your company can come up with where you have identified, like I mentioned earlier in my presentation, some companies are actually now collaborating with schools to say that we need graduates in this field. Okay, so you're already identifying them from as fresh as university, getting them ready to move into that role. There should be someone shadowing this guy, making sure that, I just assume he's a guy, sorry. There should be somebody shadowing this person, making sure that they are learning to move in to that role so that there's no vacancy at any point in time, either because somebody on ground can fit into that role in the meantime while you're searching for you're searching for another candidate to fill the role, right? So succession planning has to be put in place. The strategic approaches, either you have a program where you're a graduate program or something where you're collaborating with schools, getting young people ready to move into that role. So there shouldn't be a time where you are left in the open as an organization to say that if this person leaves, the organization is going to crumble. You need to always put the right strategies and approach in place to address these things as they come up. So I hope that helps.
Oh, thank you very much for that wonderful question. Besides, my name is Jose. Have a wonderful day.
Okay, thank you so much, Jose. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Vivian. So just to add, it seems a lot of us are thinking about talent retention and then performance management. It just lets know that we are working on white papers on these subjects and will be shared. So that's just cheap that. But we have some questions on the chat box that I still need to read out. Vivian, please stay tuned.
All right.
Yes. So someone is asking, Uchenna is asking, what will be the best approach for HR or a HR whose organization is yet to agree to some trends, e.g. flexibility in work styles, competitive salaries, etc.
Okay, let me take that quickly. So
yes.
As HR professionals, sometimes our jobs are very challenging when we have to get the buy-in of our management. I totally understand that. So as much as possible, we need to use data to convince our management team. So when we are having this conversation, don't let it just be a conversation by mouth, a verbal conversation. Make sure you have your data to pinpoint the pros and cons. If we don't do this, this is what will happen to us. If we do this, this is how we are going to grow. Our production will grow by this. Our sales will grow by this if we put this and this in place. So once we have data in place, I assure you, management will get the buy-in because definitely they are there to make profits. That's one of the reasons why the organization was set up in the first place. So make sure you have data-driven facts when you are making this approach to management.
All right, thank you, Vivian. There's this question: how have you been able to manage the different generations in the workspace, the conflicting work styles and trends? So, just still a question from Uchenna.
Okay, so it's an ongoing challenge for most organizations because we have about 3 different generations in the workplace right now. So basically understanding that we are dynamic in nature as human beings. You can even have people in the same generation but do not think alike, right? So it's making sure that you have the right approach that is speaking like an umbrella kind of approach that is speaking to the various generations in the system. If people are talking about flexibility, some people want remote work, but some people want to come to the office. So let's meet everybody halfway. Make it hybrid, for example. So you have a few days to work from home, you have a few days to be in the office so that there's that human interaction that some generations or some people, even if they're in different generations, actually want. People want to be in the office to interact. I hear some people say, oh, I didn't have that meeting because we are working from home today. When we're in the office, we'll have the meeting. So some people want that eyeball connection. So it's about meeting people halfway. You can run a pulse survey, an employee pulse survey, try to understand what your employees want, what they need, what they're looking out for, what they're expecting, and then work around policies and strategies that are meeting each people halfway. You cannot satisfy everyone, but that is why the organization has to take a stand to say this is what we are proposing. Okay, then when you do that, you take a moment to monitor and evaluate the impact. Okay, and then revisit it based on what the result of your evaluation is. You may revisit it to say, okay, we have understood that because we put up this policy, this change has occurred. So let us revisit it, re-strategize, and then you communicate again. So basically, this is one way that you can address that situation.
All right, thank you, Vivian. Thank you, Vivian. I think that will be all. I don't think there's any more question that is coming in. Or does anybody still have any question? Let's just take one more, if you do. But if not, we'll move on. Oh, okay. Someone is asking if we'll be sharing the recording. Yes, you'll get the slides and the recordings at the end of the training. So just be expectant. Get it soon. Thank you. All right. So thank you, Vivian. So we've come to the end of the Winning the Talent Ball webinar. We're really excited to have you. We're glad to have you. We'll be having another webinar in September. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So, okay. Uchenna is saying thank you, Vivian. Rashida
Thank you so much, Uchenna. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. So yeah. So a colleague of mine will be dropping an assessment form. Just 3 questions. So please don't go off yet. So just use the link to just access, like it's a feedback form. Just 3 questions. Won't take your time. You can do that in like 1 minute. So please, as we are here, just click on the link to just give us your feedback. Yes, and as you do that, the link to our social media pages will also be shared. So if you want to know more about our services,
thank you.
If you want to know more about our services, you can do that. You can just use the link to access our YouTube pages, our YouTube page, LinkedIn, Instagram, and the likes. Thank you, everyone. All right, so yes, so please, once you fill the form, you can just put either filled, have filled, and then you can log off. Thank you. All right, please notify us if you fill the form before logging off. Thank you. Oh yeah, so this the link to our social media pages has been dropped: Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. So please also follow us on our social media pages. Oh, oh, form field. Thank you, Godwin. So yeah, more coming, more feedback. Thank you, Godwin. Very insightful. Thank you. Form field. Yeah, Olachi. Thank you. Uchenna. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Adonis Udele. Thank you. Etini. Thank you. Thank you. All right, I can see more messages. Form field. Oh yeah, form. Chiamaka, thank you for filling the form. Oluwawemimo, thank you for filling the form. Yes. Dawn Adonis, yeah, thank you for filling the form. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, thank you, Mary. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Kate. Very interesting though. I joined late. You will get the recording so you can watch from the beginning. Kate. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. So we're giving like 5 more minutes to fill the form and then we log off. So please, so if you missed the link, just scroll up a little bit and fill. Oh yes, Faith, thank you. Oh, Kate, thank you. Form filled. Yes, thank you. The link to the form is not opening from your side. That might be security protocol from your company. So you could use your mobile phone or something. All right. Solomon, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Yeah, yes. Yeah, Tony completed. Thank you, Tony. Yes, Chinenye, thank you. Form field. Thank you. So once you're done, you can just log off. Can just log off. Dawn, Eyoma, thank you. Yes, thank you. Eloho. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So once you're done filling, you can log off. Yes, thank you, Eloho. Thank you, everybody. Trust you had a thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. All right, Ose, thank you for filling the form. Thank you, Ose. Thank you, Ose. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Done. Etini. Thank you. Thank you for filling the form. So please, if you've not done that, please, we have like 2 more minutes to fill the forms. Your feedback is very, very important. We're also asking you what topics you'd like us to take next during the webinar. So you can, form fill. Thank you, Ragbinger. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Oluwakemi, thank you. I can see your response. Thank you. Oluwakemi. Thank you.